Hi guys, welcome to ESL with Regina. My name is teacher Regina, and I was supposed to have a live on teacher Erika's page, but for some reason she was able to add me, but she couldn't see me. She could only hear me, so we decided that we'll try on my page. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining. Yes, hi Basma, hi Pari, hi Maz, hi Khan, hi Simu. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining. Hi MMKK. Wow, you guys have very interesting Instagram names that are very hard to pronounce. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining. So today's live is, I was supposed to be a guest on teacher Erika's page, but for some reason, when she adds me to her live, she can only hear me and she cannot see me. So we decided to try it on my page. So let's see if this works, okay? All right. I hope it works. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining. Please work. Work, work, work. It's working?
Yes! Oh my God, it's a miracle.
That is awesome.
It is, actually, this is the second time it happens. I needed to.
Today?
Yeah. No, not today. Not today. Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And then there were many other lives, and now this again. It was saying the connection was not strong enough. I have problems here with the connection.
No problem.
But
no problem. I'm glad it's working.
I'm very sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yes.
No problem.
I'm so glad to be talking to you again. This is the second time.
Likewise, likewise. I guess I should pin our topic. What should I? Well, guys, I'm supposed to be the guest.
I cannot pin, right? Only you.
No.
Right?
Yeah. What do you want me to write?
I'm going to paste here what I was going to paste there.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's just chat with teacher Regina.
All right.
And add your handle, your Instagram handle. There you go.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
something's wrong. You are.
Yes.
Your picture is like frozen.
I know. Yeah. It's not. I don't think it will work.
Aww.
Maybe we should reschedule. I don't know, because this is taking a long time.
It's up to you.
Yeah. I think it's better, and I need to check what's happening here anyway. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for this very short live stream.
So guys, yeah.
I'm trying to solve it.
Newton is trying to solve it. Let's give it a shot. Just one more minute. I'll be speaking here. You can look at my picture, and we can talk a little bit.
Sure. So, go ahead. Introduce yourself, please, to my followers.
Oh, yes. So, I'm Erika, teacher Erika. Our account is Melhore Seu Inglês. Our page is Melhore Seu Inglês. Improve your English. I work with my husband, Newton, and we've been teaching for a long time. And now mostly through Skype and here on Instagram. We love it. Yeah, I think that's about it. And I love languages. I love it. Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell them immediately how many languages you know.
How many languages? Oh, yeah. So I took this year.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. I lost her. Teacher Erika, can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. Oh, no. Oh, guys.
Okay.
Okay, you're back. Should I re-add you?
Yes.
Should I re-add you?
Yes. Let's try that. Let me leave.
Okay. Kian, she's from Brazil, so I don't think she needs VPN. It's just the the internet connection is not great in Brazil where she is. That's why. So, but so I don't think VPN is going to help. It's not filtered in Brazil, as far as I know. It's just the internet, guys.
There you go.
Yay!
A few more minutes here. All right. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
so for the 5th time.
Yeah. Let's try again. We never give up. Poor connection. Exactly. Poor connection. But so I speak. It's funny because when people ask me what languages do I speak, I always mention Spanish, Italian, French, a little German, and now Polish. And I never say Portuguese, which is my native language. And I never say English, which is the language I teach. You know, it's the second language I know the best. The other ones are kind of intermediate level or even lower level than that. So weird. Yeah, I do speak English and Portuguese too. And I'm having fun with Polish.
Nice.
And yes, but you also speak other languages, right?
Not like you, but I do.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you were too young because as far as I remember from your lives, you come from a bilingual, trilingual, I don't know, family. Yeah? So you learned
trilingual
Hindi
family, yeah.
Trilingual.
Yeah. Well, actually,
So you...
yeah, it's trilingual because, you know, in India, so hi followers, if you don't know me, I
Yes.
am ESL with Regina. My name is Regina, teacher Regina. And I'm an online teacher from the United States. So I wasn't born in America, guys, but I'm an immigrant here, like many other people. So my background is my dad is Indian and my mom is Russian. And the thing is that in India, we have more than 900 languages.
Wow.
So obviously I don't know them. But I do know 3 of them. So
oh, really?
I don't really count them because I don't know why. I just say Hindi and that's it. Like Hindi and Russian, and obviously English is my native. I keep forgetting to mention English because, like you said, you know, it's the language you know, like you said with Portuguese, you know, because it's my native. I keep forgetting to mention that. Yeah, guys, English is my native. Yeah. But like, and you know, it's funny because I started speaking in Russian when I was a baby because of my mom, you know, and then I started speaking in Hindi because of my dad and his family. Yeah. But they decided to send me to an all English speaking school since I was little. Like I've never been to a Russian kindergarten, you know, so from the age of 5.5, I was in school. I went to 1st grade, and it was full immersion of English. So even though I tried to use Russian and Hindi, the teacher
to no avail.
It was not. No, absolutely not. And you know, in my school, the school that I went to was a British school, so there were native speakers and international students like me. Oh. And so I wasn't alone in the class there was actually my best friend, she was Polish. So me and her, we were kind of like, what do we do? What do we do? You know, like imagine being 5.5 and like to be in a class with native speakers, you know, and stuff. So because of that full immersion, English became my native language, you know? Yeah,
definitely,
so, you know, because it's like I can only read, write, and speak in English.
Oh, okay, I see. Because you've learned all these languages, especially English, as a child, so you don't remember, you know, all the steps. It's different from learning as adults, right?
Exactly.
Completely different.
Exactly. So when I look back, I all I remember is that it was hard. And that my teacher kept saying, try again. And she did divide the group into levels, you know, because imagine we were beginners with native speakers, you know, and like, I always felt like, oh, you know, I got it, but then she would cover some new material and then I had to catch up again, you know, so I was like, oh my God, I just got this and now I have to learn something new.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Besides school, at school, I had extra English class to be at the same level with native speakers. And I had extra English classes after school. So
wow,
it was a lot, you know, so that's why there was like, you know, if I did not end up speaking English, it would be like a miracle, you know, like, so my parents definitely invested a lot into that. And I don't think my mom realized what she was doing, or my dad, because English became my native, you know, like imagine you talking to your mom and like now when I talk to my mom, of course I use Russian, but like it's still easier for me to express myself in English, you know, so she'll be like, I'll start thinking of a word, you know, and she'll be like, forget it, just say it in English, because she understands English, but her speaking is not very good. And so she'll be like, just say it in English. And I'm like, no, Mom, I have to, what is wrong with me? Like, I need to remember, I don't like to, you know, I'm a perfectionist. So, but growing up as a trilingual, what happened to my brain was like, my brain picked the best phrases in each language. So when we communicate as a family, it's a freaking mess, you know, like we're switching back and forth or using one word from English in a whole, in a Russian sentence, you know, or the other way around, you know, so it's very, very mixed. So
because our parents, they know, this is fun, I think. Your parents know Russian and Hindi. Both of them, they know the two languages.
So even though my mom is Russian and so so I have an older brother, all right? So this is why she learned Hindi, because she married my dad, but my dad already spoke Russian, you know, so that's how they communicated. And then my brother was born and my brother started speaking in Hindi. His first words were in Hindi because of my dad's family. And because he spent a lot of time with my dad's side of the family, and my mom was kind of frustrated, like, I'm his mom and I don't even know what my child is asking or saying, you know. So she was like, I have to learn this language. And you know, she did not take any classes. All she did was so my grandfather at the time, he said, that's it. He forbid everybody in the family, and my family is big, all my dad's brothers and sisters, he forbid all of them to speak to her basically only in Hindi. So she would pick up, and Punjabi. And Punjabi. So my mom, she said she would because my mom kind of lived with them during some period of time until they got their own apartment. So it was full immersion as well. Even though they were in Russia, but in this apartment, it was all India.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's awesome.
So she said she would sit in the corner while they talked, and she's like, she would observe. She's like my grandfather would say, bring me a glass of water in Hindi, and somebody would bring a glass of water. So she would be like, oh, that means to bring a glass of water. So she was only listening, guys, only listening and repeating, mimicking, you know. So that's how she learned. And then when we moved to India, she already spoke Hindi, you know.
Oh,
so
that's fantastic.
When we lived in India, and imagine a white woman speaking Hindi with no accent, you know, like,
wow.
Like, are you Indian? And she's like, of course I'm not Indian.
Yeah, it's confusing, right? Because I don't know if how she looks like, but yeah,
I'll show you.
Not...
She's not blonde, but she's like white, brunette, green eyes, like
That's great. Because I actually last year I had a chance. There was a challenge on Instagram for polyglots, and a language was going to be picked up for us. And for me, it was Hindi. And I didn't even know there were 900 languages or varieties or whatever.
Dialects,
it was like, okay, let's learn dialects, yes. So let's learn some Hindi. And then people said, Erika, just pay attention to what you're doing. It was very hard because just 3 days. But it's a beautiful, beautiful language. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, even my Indian grandmother who lives in Russia, she's illiterate, guys. She's illiterate, which means she cannot read and write. Okay. She got married very young, like she was a teenager. And so she didn't finish school. She got married, started having babies. And her husband, who is my grandfather when he was alive, he was a very educated man. You know, he had 3 degrees and he was a journalist and artist, you know, like he knew Russian. Oh my God. He spoke so many languages. And so he brought my grandma to Russia. Imagine a foreign country, being illiterate and all that. And guess what? She speaks Russian. She speaks Russian. Yeah. Without reading and without writing. And this is why, as a teacher, I always emphasize how important listening is. It is so important. You can observe so much if you actually do active listening and observe, you know, you can pick up so much. So I'm just giving you guys examples that, you know, my dad speaks Russian because he went to a Russian university. Okay. But he was already an adult. And of course he had some Russian girlfriends. So, you know, that speeds up the
that's
process.
Motivation. That's motivation, right? I think with the whole family. The whole family. People wanted to stay together and to connect and to communicate. This is very strong, right? You want to be, your mother wanted to talk to your brother. So, right? Yeah. This is a huge, enormous motivation. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially being a mom, right? Being a mom.
Exactly, like, okay. I will do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Right?
Yes. That's what, and I'm so happy that she did that, you know, because now there's no problem. You know what I mean? Like, like I have Indian cousins and my mom has no problem communicating with them, even though they know Russian, but still, like my mom can go to India with no problem. She can even go to Punjab, where my dad is from, and communicate with relatives from there, you know, and stuff. So I'm very proud of her, very proud of her.
Yes, yes. Wow, me too. I'm proud of your whole family. Of you.
Thank you.
Because I have this feeling of freedom, right? It gives you freedom. Like your family, they can travel, visit different relatives, talk to more people than they would usually be able to. So it gives you more, more. It
gives you an advantage, absolutely.
Advantage, yes, yes, yes. When you're talking about listening, listening, right? Listening in a net, yes.
Okay, sorry.
connection. Okay, let me just take a look at the comments just
Me too. I was
for
just
a short while, because sometimes, people complain I don't talk to people here, to followers. Kian English, I don't know if he's still here, but I'm very impressed with him. I think you know him, Kian English. We started following him. I thought he was a teacher, and then I started following, watching his live streams. He's learning English. And what he's doing is great. It's fantastic. He is using the live streams to practice. I think he practices, I don't know who he practices. I think he practices with whoever wants to talk to him. And this is awesome, right? Absolutely. Like using Instagram and technology to, in a proactive, independent way, do this, whatever it takes to learn English in this case, right? So, I think this is a great thing he's doing. Whenever I go live on my page without a... Yes, he's great.
Yeah.
Always smile.
I don't know Marathi, sorry. Only Hindi, Punjabi, and Urdu. And Tesso's profile, you said I'm a chatterbox, but so guys, I'm supposed to be her guest. That's why I'm doing the talking. Sorry.
Yeah. My connection is not good. We moved here. I don't know. It happened just once. But Mateus is saying that Mateus is probably Brazilian. Yeah, he's wearing the soccer. How do you say that? I forgot the name. Jersey, the soccer jersey. Italian and Spanish, nice. I want to learn as well. Yeah, these are Romance languages. Romance languages are important. Spanish is important. And it's interesting because among people who like languages, polyglots, etc., we communicate in English. We don't speak in Spanish. This is weird because so many people speak Spanish. This is an important language too. I actually tell people to learn English quickly and use it to learn other languages. Use English to learn other languages because there are many materials available, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Brave. Teachers, one of my partners was asking, what's the difference between polyglot and multilingual? This is an interesting question. Do you know the difference?
The difference?
Yeah, if there is a difference.
I think they're just synonyms as far as I know, but I could be wrong.
No, yeah. This is this term polyglot it doesn't have, right. There is a dictionary definition, but it was like defined, I don't know, maybe in the 19th century or before. Things have changed now.
I was going to say in the States, we just say I'm multilingual or bilingual or trilingual or very simple. I speak many languages. Yes. That's all.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, I think what I think about this term, because when I created my other account, Polyglot Erika, I wanted one word to show people what I'm interested in. And this is the first word that came to mind. I could have written multilingual Erika. I could have, but I didn't think of that word before. But I don't speak all the languages fluently. If some people think you're supposed to speak all the languages fluently, I don't think this happens with polyglots. Of course,
I was going to say, I think that's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on the languages you practice the most, right? So this is important. The more you practice English, the better it will get. Otherwise, it will get rusty and you will start forgetting things. It will not disappear, right? It will not go away. It will be in the back of your head or mind. But it will take you a while to bring it back again if you're not practicing regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people ask me here in the States, like our friends who are also immigrants, they ask me, what language do my husband and I speak in? And I'm like, English, because they usually speak. And I'm like, English, because
connection. I'll ask her to repeat.
Did you hear anything? Uh-oh.
Erika? I didn't get that because of I didn't get it because of the connection. The connection was
No problem. I was saying a lot of my friends here who are immigrants as well, they've asked me, like, what language do you speak in with your husband? And I'm like, English. And they're like, how come? And I'm like, because it's his native language and it's mine. Just because he knows Russian, he learned Russian only when he was like 17, and before that he spoke English, so, but I have to say that, like, you're absolutely right. You have to use the language or you're going to lose it. I've actually told my husband that, I told him I would encourage him to watch more movies in Russian and read like the news in Russian, because when he lived in Russia, he had full immersion, but now that he's in the States, he's using mostly English, even though I use Hindi and Russian and with my dog. You know, my dog is multilingual, you know.
That's cool.
And for example, my husband's mom talks to me in Russian, even though she knows English very well. But like she talks to her son in English as well, you know. So it's quite interesting, you know what I mean? How you switch and stuff. But you're right. It's all about practice.
Practice, yes. I'm going to say hi to Mohammed here, and I'm going to tell people again that I was supposed to be hosting, so this is teacher Regina is supposed to be a chatterbox here because she's the guest. It's all about her today here. It gives you independence, etc. I was going to ask you, do you think that knowing, languages can change the way we think? Like you think... I don't know, it changes, it gives you, I don't know if it's another perspective on things, or how do you feel that?
Yes. Because,
something like that?
For me personally, because I also have I had the privilege of living in those countries. So because I was born in Russia, but then I left, and then I came back to Russia as a teacher. When I spoke in Russian, it made me feel more Russian, you know? It was kind of like I had that connection and I wanted it. And when I was in India and I spoke Hindi, I felt the same thing. It made me feel more Indian and understand the culture better. Because if you try to, like Russian language and Hindi, you can't compare them. They're so different. And you feel the language, like the culture. It's the way you say things, your body language. It's not just a language, it's more than that. It's like, I'm repeating myself, but it's really about culture. But for me personally, because I'm half Russian, half Indian, it makes me feel more Indian, more Russian, like I feel it in my blood,
Yeah. I was wondering these days, because I feel this way. I'm learning Polish. I'm totally in love with the language. It is similar to Russian. I want to learn Russian too. And I wonder if English students have the same feeling towards, the American culture or the British culture or wherever English is spoken officially.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's so pervasive, and I don't know if it became normal, I don't know if we have this wonder towards English. Do you feel that in your students and people here? This is just something I was thinking about last week.
Everybody has a different goal for learning English, and that plays a role. So, for example, if somebody wants to immigrate to the States, then they tend to spend more time to get to know the culture as well.
Yes.
Not everybody, but I'm just saying. But there are students, like there was a comment, yup, exactly, since I've learned English, I really like their culture, especially American ones. So I think when you speak English and you watch an American movie, you start to notice their culture. So besides understanding English, you start noticing other things about English, because it's an American movie about New York. So you start noticing, oh, they have this in New York, that New York, the houses, like little things, details.
Yes.
So I think once you've reached some kind of fluency, you start noticing other things because you know the language or because you're interested. Yeah. But I also have students who just want to pass IELTS, so it's nothing about culture, it's just level, they just need it for their resume, for something. They just need it for something. It's kind of just like a to-do list, And then there are students who are maybe married to a foreigner, and the only language they can communicate in is in English, So again, so everybody has a different reason. And so that's why English is more than just English. You know what I mean? So, but I've definitely seen it for some people, you know, who especially want to live in an English speaking or dream about going to an English speaking country, you know, or want to find a girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Now, I wanted to ask you questions about live streaming, because you are one of my biggest motivations, inspirations, actually. Inspirations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, I think you're fantastic. And you've been live streaming for a while now, right? I think you told me you started.
Yeah, I started, so last year around this time. So January.
Ah, okay. And you've been doing it for, it's not every day, it's a few days a week, like 3 or something like that?
So I started with five days a week. And I got burnt out. It was just a lot. I enjoyed it, guys. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. I did it, but I understood that the energy that I shared during a live, and then when I was offline, I was like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. You know, so I decided after I think after 6 months or more, I decided that, I'm sorry. I only decided August, no, when was it? August or September to do it 3 times a week, you know, so.
Which is still a lot.
It's still a lot, yes. But honestly, I did it because I didn't have time to make content for my page, you know. I just did not have time, you know. I was just like, I was, you know, spending so much time on my lives, which I loved, and so did teachers and followers. I'm very happy about that, but I just realized, oh my goodness, when am I supposed to make content? You know?
Which are great, by the way. You have a very cool page too. Your videos are so well organized and so cute in pink. Yes. Thank you. And like I said before in our previous live stream a few months ago, you're very, like I said, you're very didactic. You speak in a very at a very good pace for people to understand, to follow pronunciation. I really like that.
Thank you so much.
Live streaming is like, well, where are you from, Erika? I'm from Minas Gerais, Belo Horizonte, the southeast of Brazil. And I feel the same. I feel this connection problems. Yes, I feel the same about live streaming, because like I told you again, only at the end of last year we got this feature here that we could talk to other people. So I started doing that, and it's funny because it feels awesome when you're doing that, right? And talking to your guest or to the host and the people here answering. But at the end of the live stream, like, oh my God, how does teacher Regina how does she do that? Every day. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a lot of energy, but it's super fun, and we want to keep doing it because it's fantastic, right? We never know what's going to happen, and the kinds of questions people are going to ask and things like that.
You know, I'm a very social butterfly, you know, so I like meeting people, new people. I like talking to them, and that's how I feel during a live, you know, like, of course there are days when I'm like, I don't want to do a live, but you know, it's just the human side of me, like where I'm just maybe making an excuse or feeling a little lazy or something. But once the live starts, I'm like, you know?
This is so interesting, because it's just like any kind of practice. Like when I'm going to work out, it's the same. The minute before I started, I feel like, no, I don't want to do this. And then I started and I don't want to stop. And it's the same with practicing with languages, right? Learning languages. So some people, right, because we should have a commitment And I feel that way too. Sometimes I feel, oh my God, I don't think I can do the live stream today. But when it starts, you have the energy. And I think it works the same when you're learning a language. That's how I feel, you know, with...
And you know, the other thing with me is like, so I start teaching very early. So I start teaching at 6:20 in the morning. Okay. So,
wow.
Yeah. And it's not adults, it's kids. So I won't lie. I wake up at 6, you know, and so I have what, 20 minutes until my lesson, right? So obviously I prepared the day before and stuff, but I literally have 20 minutes to like, wake up, Regina, you know?
Wake up.
But honestly, it's like, it's the same idea, you know, like as soon as I'm in front of the camera, something happens, you know, this switch inside me, and I'm like, hi!
It's a good way to start the day, right? Good way to start the day. Oh
my God.
This is awesome.
Like, but you know, it's like right before the lesson, I'm like, oh, it's especially winter. I'm like, it's dark outside. It's dark. And I'm sitting here about to teach instead of sleeping, you know?
This is, professionalism, right?
And it's like every day I have different groups, you know, like the level. It could be a complete beginner, like complete 0, you know, like nothing. You know, it could be a student that is a complete parrot that is repeating everything I say. Or it could be an advanced child, and I can have an amazing dialogue and conversation, you know. So it's a rotation, the way the classes happen, and they're done in such a way because the company that I work for the kids, they want the kids to be exposed to different American accents.
Okay.
And I think we have some British teachers too, but it's mostly American. So they do that they do it like on purpose so that kids don't get attached to just one teacher.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So as a teacher, I have no idea who these kids are. Every single day.
I get it.
Every single day, I have new students. Every single day.
Yeah. You know, I used to work like that too. My first job at a language school was like that, but just for adults, not kids, adults. And we never knew who the next student would be. We had a few hours to prepare something for the class. Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, I really cherished that first job. That was cool.
And you know, there was a time like when I got like a little bit burnt out because I was just, it was like a peak season and they had a lot of like beginners, you know, and I was basically teaching the alphabet for like two hours, but four classes. So each class is like 30 minutes, but imagine 4 of them. And each time it's the same thing for like
all over again. For
1 million times you're saying, hey, apple. You know, like
wow. So. Well, that's how you got you got to make these great videos. Your videos are great. I love them.
You know, that's I get so many messages saying, Teacher Regina this, Teacher Regina that. So I was just like, you know, maybe I need to start making videos where I have a student presenting the question and then me responding in the most natural way I can, you know? Because we get asked the same questions. I'm 100% sure of it. Like, all of us get asked how to improve speaking, how to improve listening, how to improve, or just a broad question like, can you help me with what? You know, so it motivates me to make specific videos, you know, so that I can send those questions, like tell them to watch that 1-minute video. And so, and if they still have some questions, then, you know, I'll be happy to answer them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
another thing that you mentioned a few times is being burned out, right? So we sometimes, everyone, if you're human and if you're working too much at something, if you're doing too much of something, you're going to, you have to pay attention to that. What about students who are learning English? I don't know if you've had this kind of students, but
burnt out.
What would you tell? Yeah, what would you tell these students about this? How to deal with this?
So when I was teaching in Russia, I had my adults were not really burnt out, but my teenagers were, because you know, they had English at school, then they came to the school I was working in, you know, and they were like, especially springtime, you know, hormones, and they were like, you know, and honestly, I just did things that I knew they would enjoy, you know, to get their energy back. Like it's just figuring out what makes them tick, you know, like what makes them going. Like, so, I mean, I'd be like, all right, let's watch a movie this week, you know, and discuss it. Like, so I would definitely go off the schedule just to get them back into it. And honestly, it just takes a couple of classes to get them back into that.
It's quick.
And also, it's like being moody. You know, when you're a teenager, you get moody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so so like, you know, maybe I'll bring them some chocolate, or like, you know, do things that I know work. You know, or I'll discuss things that they will be interested in. You know, like dating, or like, you know, I mean, like different topics. Honestly,
there are tons of things. Yes,
there are games, you know, different discussions, projects, and stuff. But they will find interesting and not boring. Or I might even join them, and you know, if they're like complaining, I'm like, oh, I completely understand. I remember when I was in school and I was like, oh, another exam, another test, you know. So honestly, I would put myself in their shoes and like talk to them like a friend and tell them, you know, I've been there. I know it, you know, like, so I would, like, let's say, complain with them, you know, like, let them vent, you know, like, let it out, you know, and stuff. It
has a lot to do with empathy, right? You're trying to connect and try to feel and help and see what the other person may need at the time, right? A student who is way over their head, I don't know if that's an expression, studying too much for IELTS test, for example, TOEFL test, they might need to balance their energy, right? And take care of that part. So
and,
English
exam prep, sorry to interrupt you, but exam preps, usually when they are burnt out preparing, I always tell them, go out, stop studying. I actually tell them, your homework is, I want you to go out. Your homework is go watch a movie. Your homework is just listen to music all day. Do something that makes you very happy. You have to take breaks, guys. So the point, if you get, just like teachers, why do we need a break sometimes? You know, like, you just need to pause sometimes, you know, and reflect and just do nothing, or do something that makes you. It doesn't mean teaching doesn't make us happy, but it requires a lot of energy, right? And stuff. So it's just switching, you know, do something else that makes you also happy, and then come back, because, you know, teaching is a job as well, you know, so you get job part, you know, it's not the actual teaching part because you love teaching, but it's actually that job part that, okay, I still have to do this and stuff, because, you know, we all have to eat, pay bills, and things like that.
There you go. So English.
I agree with Teacher Sash. Hi, Teacher Sash. Patience, understanding, and enthusiasms help with burnt out students. Absolutely. I agree.
Yes. English with I, because I didn't see these comments. She's saying, because this is earlier, because when you learn a new language, you're attracted to the culture. Yes, yes. I'm in love with Polish, but I will take a break now and polish my German, not my Polish, polish my my German. Because when I started learning 5 years ago, I didn't have a very good experience. So I want to change that now. I want to create new memories with German now. So I want to, I don't like how it sounds, because it's very hard for me to say certain sounds, right?
Oh, okay.
And yeah. So I want to practice, repeat, and I found maybe the way I've been learning Polish will work with German too, hopefully. I'm excited about that. But
you know,
saying, yeah?
I took I took German as a foreign language in my school. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I didn't take it. I had to take it. I had no choice. It was required. It was required. And honestly, I don't know why. Like, I was in India, I was in a British school, and German was required? Like, why? You know?
Wow, that's an interesting choice, or like option for distance, or I don't know, a requirement.
I was on my summer holiday with my parents, and my parents came back. So we returned late for school. So I missed like 2 weeks or something. But my parents thought, oh, not a big deal. Well, guess what? They started learning German that time, okay? My classmates. So I was 2 weeks late, and that teacher was pissed. I mean, but you know, it wasn't like I did it. You know, it was my parents. And she was so upset, like, she made it miserable for me. I mean...
Oh my God. No, that's too bad.
I hated German
because
of
God.
her. Absolutely despised it. You know, she would pick on me. Like, imagine, you just came back, and she'd be like, so, Regina, what is this? And I'll be like, you know, I just came back. Like, I have no idea. She'd be like, well... I don't care. That's your problem. You know, I mean, I was in shock.
Oh my God.
I was embarrassed.
Wow.
I was discouraged. Yeah. I was not confident, and I hated the language because of her. You know, like, I'll never forget it.
Well, yeah, unfortunately that can happen. Yes. And, but like, my strategy now is to create something new and try to see if it, you know, if I learn a little German this time. Let's see. Yeah, so trying again is important, because this happens here in Brazil. People learn a little English at school.
Okay.
And then they have this feeling like, oh, it was horrible. I didn't learn anything. I didn't like the teacher. I don't like English because of the teacher, because of a million reasons. But you need to learn English. It's not really an option, you know, if you want, right, in today's world, you really need it. So try to create new memories, right? Try to establish new connections. And I think today with the internet, Instagram, this is so easy. It's easy, I think.
It is, but honestly, I just, me personally, this is just me, you know, like I do have the basics with German, but like, honestly, I have no desire to polish it.
You don't need it, right?
Because I don't know where on earth will I use it, you know, like when? When? Like, I'm a very, that kind of a person. Like, when I learn something, I always question, not in a bad way, but like, I just... Why are you teaching us this right now?
It has to be meaningful.
How is this going to help me? Yes, I'm that kind of a person who would like to know, how is this going to help me? You know? Yeah,
but this is very important. Yeah, this is the first thing you should know, right? You should have it very clear in your head before you start learning a language. It has to have a clear goal. This is what all teachers say. I totally agree. It works for me, having a clear goal, and I say the same thing. Yeah.
Like
So
being in the
saying,
States now, you know, and stuff, like it would be more logical for me to learn Spanish, you know, because we do have a big population of, you know, people who speak Spanish and stuff. But honestly, I think if I start speaking Spanish, people already think I'm Spanish or Mexican.
They do?
Or from Latin America. Yeah, they do. And so I think if I start speaking Spanish, it's going to be even more confusing. They'll be like, okay, so you speak Spanish, but you're not Spanish, but you look like Spanish. Like, what's going on?
Expectations, right? A lot, very high expectations. Like, oh, yeah. But are there many Spanish-speaking people around where you live in your area? Do you like?
I mean, there are enough. Like, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like saying, I can say this because I'm half Indian. Like, Indians are all over the world. Okay, so
yeah, Brazilians too. Brazilians are too.
Most people, right? Like, and stuff. So
yeah,
but like it's like a joke, you know. Chinese are everywhere.
Yes.
Indians are everywhere because they have a very large population. So it's like a joke.
Oh yes.
But in that sense, I mean, like, for example, the person who does our yard work, he speaks Spanish, you know, and like when he came the first time and he talked to my husband on the phone. So my husband's name is Victor, okay? It's a Russian name, but it also exists in Mexico, I guess, you know, and stuff. So when the guy came, he asked my husband, like, are you sure you're not Mexican or, you know, Spanish, you know? And my husband's like, no, I'm not, you know? And then I come out and I'm like, hi, I'm Regina. You know? I mean, my name is not related to that, but they look at me and they're like, so you guys are not, you know, from Mexico? Like, no.
Yeah. Well, that can be confusing, mind-boggling, but it's nice to be in these situations, right? Because things are not, you know, clear-cut. Can I say that? And this is happening more and more.
It's just, you know, like if you look at the population, it's very mixed. But majority of people, like when you fill out a form, it says, "What are you? Are you white, like Caucasian? Are you black? Are you Asian? Or are you Mexican?" These are like the four main options, and then other.
Or are you Mexican?
Yeah, so it says Hispanic, Latina, something like that.
Yes.
Honestly, every form is different. Depends what you're filling out. So I always take other because I'm none of those things, you know. And why I'm saying this is because that's the majority that has been identified in the States. So where I live, people just assume either you're black, either you're white, or you're Mexican, Spanish, or Asian. Yeah. That's it. You know, so that's why people judge me by my face or how I look, you know, and they speak to me in Spanish, like even without asking, you know, like, do you speak Spanish and stuff? And I'll be like,
okay.
I don't speak Spanish. And they're like, it's more of a like, why not? You know, like and stuff. So it's interesting.
They expect, it is. Yeah, there's a story with Brazilians too, because, and even here in Brazil, it's we don't have like, it's difficult when we have to fill out these forms. It is hard.
Oh, really?
For example, I'm like this. My sister is brunette. She's really, my mother is, my sister is, and we look like we're very similar. We look alike, but you know, so in my family, when you look around, it is hard, you know, because it's mixed. Are you white or black? I don't think we are mostly mixed here, I would say. Because it's something cultural here, right? But it's interesting.
Well, in India as well, you have 50 shades of Indians, you know, like Where
Yes,
we can be very light or we can be very dark, you know. It's like there isn't one, you know, like it's stereotypical, just like
exactly,
even about black people, they're different.
White, brown, we have brown.
My husband is saying here that we have white, brown. I don't know what that means. Oh, we have that. We have
brown, like me, like me.
I don't know, Newton, what does it mean, white, brown? I don't know. We have a huge variety of, you know, of skin colors. So it's hard to talk about race here, really.
It is. It is. Absolutely. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen my husband, but he's very light. Very. I mean, like my hand, you know, like. But he's half Nigerian, you know, so people
Three
never...
Three ethnicities in Brazil. Brown, white, and black in Brazil.
Brown, yeah, we have brown.
Okay.
White, black, and brown here.
Okay, awesome. So like Teacher Will said, we say mulatto, like mixed, you know, because we're...
You know that we are miscegenated.
I'm like a cappuccino, you know? Like...
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
oh
you have all the...
but my husband is vanilla.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Oh, so Patty is saying, yeah, exactly. Since I've learned English, I really like their culture, especially American one. Yeah. So then you have this. Just changing. Say something in Polish. Jak się masz? Jak się masz? Can you answer that? Do you understand?
No, I don't, but it sounds nice. No, that's not similar to Russian. That's
so similar. Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's just, you know, very few words. Yeah, very, very few words peppered. So, jak się masz is how are you? Yes,
well, in Russian, it's как дела.
Oh, yeah, it's different. It's not similar. Yeah.
And in Hindi, it's kaise ho, aap kaise ho, like, you know, it's respectful, not less formal, you know, it depends and stuff, but it's completely different. So
it's completely different. Yeah, I love, and I also learned a little bit of Thai. You know, I like these languages with tone. Does Hindi have tone? It has tones, right?
I think so. Yes.
I don't remember now. It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah, we do, absolutely.
It goes, you know, up and down, and you have to pay attention to the tone, otherwise it means something else.
Yeah, so like my name, for example, and you know, we write under the line, not on the line. Like, you know how in English, guys, you write English letters on a line, right? But in Hindi, you write under the line, and then you draw a line when you want to show the word is complete.
It's,
you know?
so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love the script. I love that script.
Thank you. So I do know basic, honey, just basic.
Yeah? Oh my God. I love those scripts. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. What about good morning or good morning? I think it's good morning. Dzień dobry is in Polish.
Dzień dobry. In Russian, we say dobry dzień.
Dobry dzień. And in Hindi?
You know,
what
honestly,
would you say in Hindi?
I don't know.
They don't use.
In India, we just say good morning. You know?
Good morning.
Because it was a colony. No, of course there is a way to say it. It's just because it was a colony, we have we've taken a lot of words from English that we just use in our daily speech, you know, like hi.
Including good morning.
And including good morning. Yeah. Well,
I didn't know that. That's new.
I mean,
wow. Well,
my dad has never said good morning to me in Hindi. He's only said good morning.
Wow. He says good morning and then continues in Hindi.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm sure it exists, but like my family, like we always say good morning. Just good morning. And good night. And good night.
And good night too. Also, so they say hi. Also, do you remember other words in English besides?
Yeah.
Hi and bye.
Teacher Erika, oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I just noticed
Yeah. Oh my
No,
God.
no,
Yes, we need to.
25
passed the
seconds
time.
left.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for the bad
No,
connection, but hopefully some other time in the
Absolutely.
future.
Thank
you
you
so
followers
much.
for joining. And sorry, I was talking too much, but I was supposed to be her guest. So,
Yes.
guys, we love you. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, Teacher Erika. Bye.
Thank you for joining.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.